Hello, friends and lovers. This is Haelian, and this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate. This is a sort of brand new co-op action roguelike. It just launched for the Nintendo Switch. However, it was initially a mobile action roguelike. So we're going to talk about it here because, well, my channel is very dedicated to Hades, and this game is quite similar to Hades, is what I would say. There's definitely a lot of similarities that are going on. They've clearly taken some inspiration from the Hades franchise already. So the first few minutes of this video, I'm not going to talk that much about what's going on the screen. I'm instead going to talk about how I feel about the game, I guess, and kind of give you a lowdown of, you know, what the game's about and how it feels and things of that nature. More of a review style, but then, you know, we'll have actual gameplay from a run, so to speak. So first off, yes, the presentation, it definitely kind of feels like what I would describe as a mobile game, I guess. And it doesn't necessarily present super well. Like, the character is like super fuzzy for some reason. This is on the Switch, of course, here. When it comes to the co-op, unfortunately, I haven't been able to try the co-op for the game because there's no random matchmaking. You have to find someone else who owns the game. You can play local co-op, or you can play online, but you have to share a code in order to actually find someone else to play with. And so I couldn't find anyone else to play with, unfortunately. Now, the game does feel pretty good, is what I would say. It's actually quite nice in terms of the combat. It flows really well, and it's pretty easy to play and pick up and kind of understand what's going on. It's not really complex, but it's also kind of interesting in how it sets up many of the different powers and stuff. The powers are actually quite interesting. You know, you could describe these as essentially boons, is what I would say. You know, it's pretty easy to just call them what they look like. You know, these are essentially boons from Hades, but maybe not quite as much flavor. You know, there's no characters involved with them like the gods, and, you know, there's not much going on there. There are 4 different playable turtles, of course, and since it's co-op, you know, you could play as different ones. Each character could play as different ones, essentially. But let's talk about the combat a bit. So you have a basic attack, and you can just hold down the button to do the combo for it. And then you can charge up a special and a tool, which do different things depending on which turtle you use by using that attack. You do have sort of ability slots, as they call them. So you can pick up a power and fill a specific slot that maybe has to do with your dash or your special or your tool. If you look at the top left of the screen, oh, sorry, the UI is gone right now. But normally if you look at the top left, you can see kind of the cooldown on the tool and the special as well. So right now we're picking between a few different currencies here. You got Dreamer coins. This is for meta progression, so our dragon coins or scrap is used in the run itself. We'll take the thing that kind of helps for the run itself. You do have a double dash right now. You can actually upgrade it to get 3 dashes at least, but you only start with 1 dash, so it's kind of a rough start. And yes, there is a lot of meta progression in this game. Maybe too much. It's kind of spread out in a way that makes it a little bit confusing, I guess you could say. There's a few currencies going on. It's not the worst, it's not the best, but there's clearly a long grind. Is it worse than any other roguelite? Maybe, maybe not. That's kind of up to you, whatever you think. But you definitely start out quite weak, and the runs are actually quite challenging, is what I would say. That it's definitely not easy once you get a little bit further in the run and you are on a new save file. So right now, if you look at the screen right now, we are picking between different turtle powers that we can pick from. So these are essentially the boons. So we have Shinobi Supremacy, plus 10% dodge. Adrenaline, gain a stack of adrenaline upon defeating an enemy. Adrenaline increases physical damage by 5%, 5 stacks max. Or Extended Assault, throw 1 shuriken forward at the start of your dash. So, you know, they're pretty interesting. They're not boring. You know, it's not just, you know, get extra damage or anything like that. There's actually quite a bit going on, I think, with the upgrade system. However, the meta progression, a lot of those upgrades are, unfortunately, quite boring, as I would describe them. It's like plus 10% attack damage, plus 10% special damage, plus max health. I mean, I guess you kind of got to have that stuff to some degree, but there's always that sense of it feels like an artificial limitation when, you know, you start off really weak on a brand new save file, and you just got to get some of the stuff to power up before you can really do anything, you know? So never really feels good. On this menu here, you kind of get to pick what you're doing. You can take a turtle power, or you can replace your tool, possibly with a better one. You can get a temporary bonus that lasts for just a few rooms, or you can take scrap, which again you can use to buy things later on. A turtle power costs 400, so it makes sense to just take the turtle power most of the time, honestly. All right, so what do we got here now? Final Strike applies 1 stack of darkness, and they do a really good job of explaining what each effect does. Like, whenever we look at a particular turtle power here, on the right side, it'll explain what each keyword does, and I think that's pretty well done. Is the UI perfect? No, it's a bit clunky. It's a bit, like, oversized, I guess you could say. You know, it doesn't look the greatest, but it does work. It works really well, I think. So light attacks. Attack damage increased by 4% of your max health. So we could kind of try to focus on max health after this point and see how that feels, maybe. Your health bar is over the turtle only and it's not over in the top left, which feels a little odd. We do have the equivalent of what you might call death defiances. That is the green in the top left. The, like, green 3, you know, almost Olympic-looking rings there. But yeah, in terms of the combat feel, I think it feels good. I think the power-ups, you can usually feel a difference when you get them as well, but you quickly kind of, like, fall off in terms of power level, and enemies scale up in terms of their health very quickly once you get to new biomes. Even though the enemies might look the same, in other words, they are reusing some of the enemies, they will have more health and they will deal more damage, etc. We do not have a way to heal ourselves. We have to simply find healing by going to, like, a shop or something like that. Sometimes they just kind of offer it too, I believe, throughout the run. So let's talk about how the co-op is set up here. So again, I have not actually been able to play co-op, but from talking with some people that have been able to play it, they said that basically this game acts best as a couch co-op game. So if you're interested in it, that might be where you want to, you know, decide whether or not it's worth the price. And that's sort of where one of my bigger criticisms is going to come in here. This game cost $30 on the Switch. $30 is not an outlandish price. It is a full game. It's not early access or anything like that. But $30, it feels steep for what we're looking at, especially since this game, you can download it on, like, Apple Arcade, which is like a $7 a month subscription for free. You know, I mean, you have to pay for the subscription, so it's not free, so to speak, right? But it just, you know, it doesn't, I feel like $30 does not really match what we're getting here in terms of presentation. So we can talk about the story and the voice acting and some other things here for a minute. And what I would say is that I think the voice acting is not badly done. However, the writing, it is, I mean, this is geared for kids, is how I would describe it. It is definitely cheesy, you know, no pizza puns intended or anything like that. But it just, you get very tired of the one-liners very, very quickly is how I would describe it. I just don't really want to hear them shouting out these lines every 10 seconds, especially when you're playing at a normal pace, a little bit faster than what we're currently playing as, what I would say. But, you know, you can kind of get over it. It is nice that it's fully voice acted, and there was quite a bit of dialogue between the bosses and the other characters in the hub world and stuff. It is nice touches. I kind of feel like when you're in combat, though, you know, less is more. The music, I think, is just like a total miss, honestly, to describe it. It's just feels lackluster. It does not feel fun, is how it just feels super generic. I know, I'm being kind of harsh. I'm going to be honest. I'm being kind of harsh, but the music is something that just, you know, it didn't land at all for me, I got to say. I am having fun playing the game, I would say. It is a fun game to play. We are at our first boss. This is Leatherhead, and I do think this is actually the really cool boss, really well designed. I think the 3D model for him is great. I do think the portraits for pretty much all the characters actually look fantastic. I actually really like them. But yeah, very much so, you know, like raid-style boss, where you just stay out of the circles, you know, and avoid the enemies. They do throw a ton of enemies at you. Some people were saying that the game is not well balanced for single player, and that it's best balanced for co-op, and I can't totally tell if that is true or not, but I would make the argument that it doesn't make total sense if that is the case, since it started as a single-player game on mobile, right? And to somehow mess up the balance so that it doesn't really work for single player later on, it's just, I would be questioning why would that happen, you know? It is possible that that is the case, but it doesn't really make sense in my mind. It is possible that the enemies are not tuned correctly, though, and some numbers could use some adjustment there. But yeah, Leatherhead went down pretty fast. It could just be, again, we need more meta progression, because on my save file here, I only played for not even 2 hours, I think. So there's definitely a ton more stuff to see. So overall, to finish up, I guess, I mean, what I called the first few minutes as a review, I would say it's an okay game single player. It's pretty good. Maybe a 6 out of 10 for me, or somewhere along there. If you're itching for something Hades-esque, it definitely scratches that itch that you're having. There's no problem there, and I don't think you'd be terribly disappointed. I don't know if I've really witnessed major synergies, and some of the systems are maybe almost too simple, and they don't feel very, you know, like, inspired, I guess you could say. But I don't think you'll have a bad time. I cannot speak for the co-op, but some people did say it's pretty good, you know? So I can definitely see if you have someone else or a few people to play on the couch with, this would probably be a lot of fun, honestly. However, you know, online connectivity, you know, it is a possibility, but we don't really know. With fast-paced games like this, it's probably not going to be great. So this is probably best as a couch co-op game. So my main problem is the price tag. I think $30 is steep for what we're getting out of this. I mean, I guess you're paying a lot for the IP, so if you're really attached to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so maybe it's worth it for you. Is it worth it for me? Maybe, because I'm pretty loose on it. I'm pretty forgiving is what I would say. I don't think it's a clone. I don't think this game's a Hades clone. They clearly were inspired, the word inspiration on screen right now, by Hades, but I don't really think that this is like a copy paste, you know, they totally ripped it and they didn't do anything interesting or unique with it. They definitely borrowed some ideas, but I do think they made the game their own at the end of the day. Anyway, that concludes what I would say. I can't really tell you that you should buy this game or you should not buy this game, because it kind of winds up in a very neutral place here. I'm having fun playing it. I think the combat is fluid and fun. I think the pacing is pretty good. I think the presentation is a bit weak in terms of the visuals, in terms of the music, in terms of the writing. You know, I think it's just not really up to, you know, the standard of a $30 game nowadays, in my mind. But I do think that it does have some quality there. So let's talk about the run and what we're actually doing here a little bit more thoroughly, and we'll kind of discuss what we're picking up here. I've empowered our plane attack a lot. Our special is like this big move here. So we can choose an inspiration since we beat the first boss here. We got Leo's +1 special charge, so we get 2 charges of it. Donatello's inspiration restores 6 health upon entering an encounter. Just not a lot. Or Raphael's +15% special crit chance. I don't really know what would be best here. I'm not sure. The special charge is interesting, but I don't know if that directly helps as much. I think 6 health is not quite enough. Let's go special crit chance. So special looks like this, so whenever you see me use that, that's how you know. Is this April? No, apparently it's nobody. I will be skipping the dialogue for now, just so you know. But you want to keep talking to them because they might give you some meta stuff going on. Like an artifact, I believe, is the equivalent of a keepsake. So yes, we were able to equip something that kind of helps with the run a little bit. It's not a big thing, the one that I have on right now, at least. But yeah, we're in the second biome now, and I think the environments are pretty good looking. Like they're pretty interesting. However, I am pretty disappointed that the enemies are just pretty much the same, unfortunately for us. They look identical as far as I can tell from the first biome. Like, you just see the same things over and over again. We only got basic rewards here, so 2 different types of meta currency, or something just for the run here, which is the scraps. I'll take the scrap just so y'all can kind of... We can do our best in the actual run itself, and then we'll still go over what they have to offer after... after the run's over in terms of meta progression. Don't worry, we'll be covering all the systems there, but there is a lot. This enemy has a skull next to the name. I'm not certain if that means that they're just tougher or what. But yeah, enemies already have like a lot more health, and they can be a lot more annoying too already, as we can see. 100%, like these beams coming out are just, like the enemies just get quickly way more difficult, and they might give you like a lot more enemies too. Okay, same thing as before, so not much to think about. We'll just take the scrap, I guess. Kind of unlucky, because I think it's just kind of random chance if you get a turtle power offered, or if you get scrap. If you want to buy a turtle power at the shop, it's like 400 scrap, so only getting 120 there when we could have gotten something that's worth, you know... Oh, crap, big guy. Only getting 120 when we could have gotten something that costs 400 is kind of just bad luck, right? I don't know what the exact odds are. All right, this is kind of a mini-boss. Not really. We fought one mini-boss earlier on. This guy, I think, can be a mini-boss in Zone 1. So now we're forced to fight him in Zone 2 as just, like, sort of an elite, I guess you could describe him. Our tool taunts enemies and, like, attracts them to us. It also kind of stuns them and deals a small amount of damage, not much. I'm not so certain it's going to work for an enemy with armor like this, though. So, yeah, once the armor was off, that guy went down pretty quick. But, yeah, we took some damage. Oh, my God. And then they just throw another one at us right away. So, you do have to dodge the attacks here. And while that's kind of interesting, I do think it's heavy-handed, just like how much effort this is going to take to kill this guy. I kind of like just how much work it is to avoid getting hit. I don't like how much damage I have to deal to this guy. I had this perpetual problem where when you start attacking, you tend to move towards the enemy, and you have to be very cautious about your placement. So I may have dodged out of the way, but once I start trying to attack from behind, ooh, you might wind up back up in the circle. So yeah, that was a pretty painful room. Okay, we can get max health, which coincides with something. We can upgrade something we already have, so sort of the equivalent of a palm here. So we can increase the level. I guess the max health does two things. I don't know if it's that powerful of a thing. You know, more attack damage by 4%, but I guess we'll give it a shot here. And we're at an actual mini-boss now. We do have almost 500 scrap. And it's just the same guy, but this time in mini-boss form. Sorry, I thought this was like a mini-boss in Zone 1, but I guess it was actually Zone 2 or something. It looks like so far there's only one possible boss at the end of the first biome, or at least I've only encountered. Maybe it's something that comes back later on, I'm not really sure. But I've only encountered Leatherhead as the first boss, so you might only get that one option, which I don't think is bad. I think he's a fun boss. There's clearly effort put in there. This guy was weirdly easier than the other elites, I feel. Or at least it didn't feel like it took so long. You can get something that strips armor pretty quickly, so maybe we'll keep an eye out for that. Replace our tool. Temporary elemental damage boosts, which I don't think we're really using. 80 scrap or a turtle power. Of course, we shall do a turtle power. So these ones are themed. It told us ahead of time that these are astral turtle powers. So these, you know, there's a particular set to them, so you can have an idea of what you could be getting here. I think we do have some based around astral already, which increases our attack damage or something like that. So 40% positive effect duration. Attacks apply one stack of blinding light for 3 seconds. Each stack reduces damage up by 5%, max of 5. Reduce damage received by 2% for each astral light power obtained. I don't think we have many. Maybe it is Daybreak, even though it doesn't sound great. I mean, none of these sound amazing to me because they're probably just not damage or whatever, right? Let me see if I can open up the menu for y'all and just kind of give you a look. So yeah, we do have a strike power. Let me see. You can view stats. You can select. Final strike calls lightning to hit 2 nearby enemies for 20 Utram damage. Utram, I guess, is elemental damage. It's kind of just lightning as far as I understand it. For some reason, you have to select these individually to actually look at them all, so there's definitely a lot here. And it could be better. It could be better is what I would say. All right, either way, we can move on. I think we are going into the shop. Second biome shop. We're going to talk to everybody.
Hello, Mr. Chairman.
So we have a new artifact here that we actually just got. You can upgrade them is how I understand it, yeah, but you can still equip them in the meantime. So we got the insulated pizza box boosts, lasts for an additional 2 rooms, granted by an ally in the docks. What I currently have on, plus 10% chance of gaining bonus scrap when defeating mousers or superfoot soldiers. I don't know. It says granted by an ally in docks. I wonder why they're describing that. These are kind of like the god keepsakes where they guarantee a specific turtle power. So we got water and flame, and there's a 10% chance to double select. I've never landed that. I'm just going to leave on what we have. We do need to buy health very badly. Unfortunately, I can't afford a turtle power and health. So I guess that's not going to happen. But yeah, we have to buy that health, is what I would say. Special charges 50% faster and lasts for 4 chambers. It's tempting, but why don't we go a little bit greedy and not buy any of that, I guess we would say. So let's move on. For now, we have 346 scrap, which is kind of a lot, but I'm not certain if we're going to get another shot before the next boss, but let's just keep going for now. You don't really get to choose your reward when going into another room, by the way. As far as I understand it, it feels like there's been something mentioned about being able to do that and mentioning rerolls for it, but as far as I can tell, like, there's just one more place to go, and what you get is, you know, just totally random. I mean, that's fine because they actually let you choose between, like, everything when the reward window pops up, right? You can take, like, anything. Except maybe a turtle power. Oh, God, I keep getting hit. Come on, get out of here, buddy. Okay, so we can upgrade. Yeah, this window just pops open when all the enemies are dead, by the way. Improve your powers and tools. Tool damage plus 100% or meta currency. Let's improve something here. Adrenaline goes from 5% to 10%. Daybreak, it goes 2 stacks for 4 seconds. Or Final Strike gets 30 damage to level 3. Upon defeating an enemy. 5 stacks max, huh? I mean, that's pretty good for clearing rooms, but what about bosses, I wonder? I think bosses tend to spawn a lot of enemies, but I'm not really sure. Let's go for the Utrom's strike, though, I suppose. But yeah, going into the next chamber, as you can see, like, it just doesn't actually indicate anything. I don't know about anyone else. I was talking about it on stream, though, when we were trying the game out for the first time, and I don't know. I've never been a big turtle guy, you know? Well, Ninja Turtles, I should say. Oh my God, the number of dudes right now. Never been a big Ninja Turtle guy. I saw the movies when I was a kid. I never saw any of the many cartoons they had. I assume they had many. Never seen them. The 80s show was like the big one. I say 80s, but in reality, 90s too. Unfortunately, we used one of our... They might call them like Splinter's Fates or something. But there's just so many projectiles going on. There's this mild problem. It's not that big of a deal, but it's easy to accidentally use both of your dashes if you just hold down the button for just a touch too long. They let you basically double dash all over the place if you really want. All right, so we get to select an upgrade here. I guess that's we're required to take this? Yeah, we can't go back or anything. Attack damage increased by 7% of your max health. You can upgrade the taunt tool, so it just deals a little bit more damage, but I don't know if that's really worth it. I wonder about adrenaline here. Seems okay. I'm all in on the max health though. Yeah, so we're having a pretty rough time, especially since we're about to go into the boss here. Okay, I remember her and she's pretty tough. I would not be surprised if I lose here, honestly. But yeah, they don't give you a lot of time to react. The translation is fine. It's good. It's good. There's nothing wrong with the translation, but you will see some things like the Chinese characters on the boat floor here. So now this is Karai. So we have to get out of there and be cautious. Actually, I don't know if she actually hit me there. She's doing the circle moves. She doesn't always do the circle move. I like the bosses a lot. However, I'm not certain the regular enemies feel as inspired. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, a little too much. Oh, watch out. It was hard to get my dashes back up there, it felt. Okay, she chose the frontal cone, so we got some time. You can just dash through attacks. Okay, she chose to do that, so we can hop in. And then she tends to always do that flare. They give you a slowdown for when she does that move, interestingly. But oh my god, the noises. I guess that's like a phase transition. The huh she makes is pretty intense. Even the caption is pretty funny. But yeah, she is quite a spike in difficulty compared to Leatherhead. But I think it's actually pretty nice. I'm not certain if I love the chunkiness of her. But, you know, there's probably a lot for me to learn in terms of just how to build out, too, you know, and select the right things. All right, we managed to live somehow. Easier than, like, regular combat, almost. The boss was, right? Because I don't really know if we took more than, like, 1 or 2 small hits. Hey, we got some pizza. Let's go. We got a bunch of currencies there, but as you can see, there is a lot going on. I don't know if it's overly complex, but yeah, it could be probably better just how the hub world is laid out. I remember seeing I can never remember which turtle movie it is. The one with, you know, Go Ninja Go at the docks or whatever. Kind of scared me as a kid. That pizza box barely healed us, weirdly. We do get a free upgrade here. So it's a mastery power. Plus 15% chance to trigger elemental effects. Plus 30% dash attack damage. Gain 1 charge of dash upon defeating an enemy. Plus 50% damage to enemies with a barrier. Oh, so barrier is the thing that's really been causing us problems. So maybe this is worth it to kind of get through those enemies. We saw how annoying those robots were. So this might actually be quite helpful for clearing this. However, it's not going to help versus bosses really at all, right? Lightning Storm. So we got like a negative effect going on here. Okay, watch out for this guy. So these guys got shields on the front. Whoa. Try to dash behind. It's a little faint, the circles where they're attacking. They do give you little indicators where the rest of the enemies might be if they've already spawned in and stuff. It just feels like you don't have enough dashes most of the time to actually step out of everything. Okay, we got through that one. Upgrade, more special damage. I mean, that's kind of a lot, 100% for 4 chambers, and we're not long for this world, is what the way I'm looking at it. So that might actually be the best choice at this point, where I'm not so certain that we're gonna last all the way to the end here. I don't think I've even seen the 3rd boss yet, but I can't quite remember now. Maybe I did, maybe I did not. Okay. Oh, man, that really hit me? I tried to react, I swear. But yeah, you can see just how complicated these regular enemies end up getting very quickly. Oh, you got the self-destructing ones right there. So you definitely got to get to see them. You got to get to learn the moves pretty quickly in order to accommodate. Tool damage, I don't think so, because that's just our taunt ability. So we'll look to upgrade something. Gain 2 stacks of adrenaline upon a final strike. Or adrenaline, is better. Huh, kind of interesting here that these are separate powers as far as I understand it. Upon a final strike. Gain a stack of adrenaline. Oh, okay. Oh, I understand now. So let's make adrenaline better here then. So we don't necessarily have to kill enemies to build up adrenaline, because I forgot which ones I took, I guess. All right, I think we actually get to visit the shop, but we have to take some help here. No doubt about it. You can get a little bit of scrap by destroying those boxes. So it's 200 for a pizza slice. And then we can spend 400 for another turtle power. Attacks have a 30% chance to throw a shuriken forward. Adrenaline now also increases elemental damage. We are kind of going big on the adrenaline. We do attack quite rapidly with this turtle. Attacks have a 30% chance, huh? Throw a shuriken forward at the start of your dash. It's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Art of Darkness, though. I guess I'm going to spend on Dreamer Coin, because I'm worried that we're going to be dead soon. It's indicating that we have something here. Oh, we did get another new artifact. Okay, this one guarantees the ninja powers if we wanted. Okay, now we can just go, I think. I think this is the way out. It is. Okay. Trying to remember if I saw the 3rd boss or not. I don't know. So yeah, I don't really have any nostalgia. Like, I don't know who Leatherhead is. I don't know who was the other lady we just fought? Karai, I think they called her. Don't know who she is either. Okay, I can't really get to you when you got all that stuff there. Okay, we got him apparently, though. But yeah, they probably make a lot of references. So this might be the kind of game that, you know, if you love Turtle Time, maybe it's worth the $30. All right, all right. Oh. Okay, we make it. We make it. Okay, we make it. We make it. We make those. Oh, we got like nothing here. Oh, that's bad. Well, I don't know if we have another shop before the boss, so I'm kind of thinking we just take... I don't know which currency I want more of, honestly. They kind of do separate things. Give me the dragon coins, though. Well, they do similar upgrades, but yeah. City at War, a mutant showdown, it says. So we got a big rat, the Rat Prince. This is a bit disappointing because the Rat Prince, I believe, is also a mini-boss in the first biome, potentially. Oh, yeah. I think this is where I died because... At least in part. I mean, maybe I'm just blaming something else here. Ooh, your vision can get obscured by stuff in the background. No, 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 move. Our health, our health. Get the rat. Oh, get him. He's almost done. There we go. Okay, all the other enemies get defeated too. Whew. So yeah, there's all the currency that we get from defeating them. I don't know what that thing was that just spawned. No health here or anything. Tools charge faster. More turtle powers. Utrom damage will strike again and chain out to 2 nearby enemies for 7 Utrom damage. Sounds pretty good. Plus 10% max health though. Ooh. So that kind of works for us. And move speed. Gain static charge. I had this one. It charges like really slow as far as I understand it. I had this one before. I didn't really like it. Chain lightning sounds good to me, but why don't we stick to the max health thing to see if that works, I guess you could say. The move speed might be okay. We're basically at 1 health here, though. And that Death Defiance effect does not give you a lot back. It's only like 25% or something. By the way, I think these enemies like attack each other for whatever the reason. I guess they are not friends. So you might see like the laser beams coming out at the rats and stuff. Man, this beam just never ends once they start it. Also, that circle doesn't appear until surprisingly late. Still just more little enemies. Okay, kind of a strange room, but I almost got hit quite a bit still. Okay, yeah, sure, more dragon coins, I guess. We're surviving longer than I would have guessed, especially after some of these chambers. Road work ahead. Let's go. Actually, looks like a pretty legitimate roadwork sign, I gotta admit there. I mean, just these giant pavements, why do we look so small? Like, when you look at the background here, it looks like we're teeny tiny beings in a place that is, you know, has giant roads for some reason. Okay, we kind of stunned them as far as I understand.
I totally wish Donnie would invent an anti-mouser.
I think our taunt does briefly stun. Oh, wow, we're down to like 0 HP now, apparently. Upgrade, 100% critical damage. I don't think we have a lot going on with crit. I guess so, give me more turtle powers. Gain +1 splinters revived and +30 max health. Yo, 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 yo. There we go. We're keeping it. I don't know how we're maintaining this, but we're doing it somehow. We're doing it. And we did actually make it to a shop, so I guess I was wrong. So we can buy a pizza slice to restore some health, so I guess that's what we're going to do. It's very expensive. Not going to bother to change the artifacts again. And it looks like we're actually onto the 3rd boss. Yep, I have actually not seen this one.
This place looked like it got redecorated by a bunch of angry kindergartners.
Bebop and Rocksteady.
Oh, I've actually heard of these ones.
Don't look so happy to see us.
And after we busted our humps to fix the place up all
I've played a couple of turtle games, actually, and some of the beat-em-up games are actually really good.
What are you
I think it was like Shredder's Revenge or something like that. It's actually pretty good. All right, let's go, my friends. Oh. So we do actually have to fight them both, it looks.
Time for the fire hole.
Whoa, that was close.
You turtles need to warm up.
Stay out of it. Come on.
Time to take a seat.
Oh, man, we are just not dealing a lot of damage. That's how it feels at a glance, right? I tried the dash through that. It didn't really work out. To see if we could kind of just avoid the damage without actually moving out of the circle, I guess you could describe it. It does seem like they're dealing a lot less damage than I would have expected. That probably has to do with that one power that we have.
Bombs away.
I feel quite tanky, is how I would describe it. Oh, I think I got stunned, staggered. Phase 2, apparently.
Spot, Rock.
I got you, pal.
Oh, beautiful.
Now let's get out of here.
Oh, they're leaving?
The zoo is on the
Is it
loose.
over? No.
That super soldier's gonna roast us.
That
Wreck
super
machine
soldier's
gun.
gonna roast us. So I have to kill this thing? Okay, this is kind of odd.
What's up, dweebs? Bing bang.
I did lower the volume of the... Whoa. Of the voice acting a lot because... You know, I want to hear it during, you know, actual story time, but I don't really want to hear it throughout all of combat, especially if you actually use this taunt move. Oh, great. There's another one of these. Okay, so we're kind of like in a... I don't know what you'd call it here. No! Auto-scroller almost style thing, but there's just so many enemies. Come on. Can I stand in front of this thing? I can't even tell. Okay, who's doing this move, though? I don't care for them.
Oh man.
I can't tell if the ads are just going to respawn, because that would be pretty annoying. Okay. I guess not. Whew.
Can't quit now.
Man, the bosses themselves weren't enough here. They are back. Oh, okay.
Nowhere for us to talk.
Oh, we lost one. It looks like I took a pot shot there or something.
Great time these shell creatures
Looks like they do have new moves.
Running keys.
Yeah, he's got like a cannon and
Trapped yourself.
with grenades that are firing now.
Gotta dig deep.
This is what I call falling fire.
Turtle
Woo.
flubbing.
Bazooka blast. I'm
Look, they're just talking so much.
beautiful firewood.
Want more?
Oh man, it's a good thing we are a tank.
Lighting them up, Mark.
Let's rock, Rock.
Please don't tell me there's going to be another entire phase. Come on, my crits.
Looky.
Go. I'm trying to use my cooldowns.
Rock it away.
God, it's just so hard to use them efficiently.
This is what I call falling fire.
You just constantly have to be running away. Still alive, still alive. One health. Come on, finish them, please.
You stinking
Okay, I got rid of one.
know nothing about
Okay, now I can focus on one dude at least.
Just you and me now, Berta.
Yep, just me and you, buddy. All right, you do the circle there. There's still other crap being fired at us. Oh, we use another one. Oh, okay.
Roberta wants to say hello.
Starting to wear out.
Oh, finally. Wow, with like one health left practically. Well, I guess not really.
Phew. They're gone.
They're gone, finally.
Watch out.
Watch out. No, there's more? No way. Goongala? Oh, someone saved us. Bebop and Rocksteady have been defeated. Okay. That was quite a bit of work. Oh, it's Casey. I have heard of Casey at least, I'll say. That was boss number 3. Or I guess we're moving on to biome number 4. let's see how we do. I do think it's fun. I do think it's pretty fun. I wish that, you know, I guess essentially, I mean, the bottom line is I want more damage, you know what I mean? Because that boss fight took a solid,
Hey guys, this is where it
I don't even know how long, but several minutes. I don't think that the runs are necessarily too long yet, and I'm sure we'll get more damage with more meta progression, but I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's really, I don't know, it doesn't feel totally tuned for single player so far. Attack damage increased by 10% of max health. Adrenaline now also increases elemental damage, or adrenaline gives more physical damage. I don't think we're dealing a ton of elemental. I think more adrenaline stacks would probably, or better adrenaline stacks, that sounds pretty good to me. And once again, unfortunately, this is probably the biggest criticism is the enemies. Like, how many different enemies have we actually seen? They have different moves, but they look identical to ones that we saw earlier. And even these big ones, they're just enlarged versions of the small ones, right? So that's probably a pretty easy criticism here, is the fact that there's almost no enemy variety. You know what I mean? There's very little. There's rats, there's these robots, and then there's the foot soldiers or whatever. Okay, finally. Oh my god, but there's more. Alright, we're down to like nothing for health here. There's a foot soldier. Oh, but he got me. I was even trying to stay away from him. That's the end of the run there, unfortunately. But yeah, they got so chunky, didn't they? Well, we still got a few things to look at here at the hub world, so let's talk about that, and we'll show you what's on offer in case you're interested.
Well,
I'm curious what y'all think, so if you haven't told me already in the comments, let me know what you think from the look of it. Have you played it yourself? What do you think from just looking at it, etc., etc.? This isn't a case of, you know, you should just play Hades instead. No, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's often the case when it comes to games that, you know, might share some similarities to others, especially in the roguelike world. I do think this does have some unique things on offer. I think it's more so presentation-based and a couple of other small things, I guess you could say, that aren't quite hitting for me, coupled with the price of it. So what do we got here? Per chance, plus 2% chance to draw turtle, powers, and room rewards. Start each run with 1 lucky dice. Lucky dice can be used to reroll room rewards or shop offers. 2% chance that turtle powers are offered at level 2. Double select chance, plus 3% double select chance during any turtle power selection. You need some other stuff for these things. I'm not certain how you get those. Probably from beating like a boss or something. Plus 25 scrap upon starting a run. Plus 20% scrap granted by bosses. I do think scrap is quite useful, so maybe we'll get the first level of that. I already have 1 scavenger and 1 Pantheon's Blessing. Yeah, that one probably was not really worth it. Plus 10% scrap from room rewards. Plus 5% chance for bonus currency room rewards. Not certain what they're talking about for some of those. 15% chance for a Mouser to drop triple scrap on defeat. There's definitely a lot of scrap stuff here. Plus 1 dragon and dreamer coins upon defeating veteran and champion enemies. Is that even a lot? I don't know, but we kind of need the meta currency, right? So we might as well invest in that early on. So that's one set of meta progression that you can get. Over here, I have quite a few of these already. Plus 40% max health is what we already have. This is the dash charges, so it's going to cost me almost all the dragon coins we had. We got 2 splinters revives. To get the third one, it cost 5,000 coins, though. Plus 5% move speed. Health recovery is 20% more effective. Plus 4% chance to spawn a pizza slice upon defeating a Foot Clan enemy. That one's probably worth it, right? Splinter's Revive restores 10% more health. That's probably worth it, too. I mean, I didn't even look at the damage ones yet, but I did invest a bit. Plus attack damage, plus attack crit chance, plus elemental damage. Tools recharge faster, tool damage, special damage. Plus 5% negative effect damage, plus 10% duration of negative effects you apply. Over here, dash attack damage, multi-hit chance, special charge faster, support units are twice more likely. I think you get the idea. You've probably seen enough here. And then let's look at the turtle select. You already saw the artifacts there. Where do I select my turtles? I think we have to go all the way back here. You cannot change the middle of the run or anything like that. But we had just used Michelangelo, and he sort of has a particular toolkit. So you would be changing, you know, the attack damage and multi-hit chance in the tool into something else, depending on the turtle you use. And yes, of course, they look different, too. Final Strike triggers a Master Strike for Leonardo. Special charges +1. Tool is to throw 3 shurikens in a cone. Each deal 15 damage. You got Raphael and Donatello. I'll show you what at least one of them looks like. So Donatello is very different. He attacks much more slowly. And I think he's meant to have more of a support toolkit behind him with this shield and everything. But yeah, I'm really curious how co-op does play. I would like to play, but I just don't know anyone that has the game, I'm afraid, on the Nintendo Switch at least. Just don't know anyone. But let me know what you think. Have you played it? Do you like it? Did you not like it? What do you think from just looking at it? You know, is it an amazing game? No. Is it a bad game? Nah. It's a solid side thumb, at least for now. But I am curious what everyone else thinks. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Let me know if you're interested. I'll have links in the description for I guess the Switch version if you want. The reviews came back pretty good for the game recently too, by the way. But yeah, thanks so much again for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.